Morning, fellas. It's what, quarter to 11. I got the garage up to about 74 degrees. Yep, that just shut off. You can hear it cooling down. And the reason why that's on is, remember, what was it, Saturday's video? I joked I put a picture up on, what was it, January 2nd, 2011. We had snow. It was a picture looking in my garage. I think my 2010 black SS Camaro was there, and my son's Cavalier was parked on the other side of the driveway. Well, Monday morning we woke up, probably had about maybe an inch of snow on the valley floor up here. Our 80-degree temperature have gone to the wayside, have high during the day. Today will be a high of 61. And right now it's like about 40 something outside with the wind blowing. So garage is kept closed. The heater just shut off so I can get the brakes on today. That's the goal, is we're going to be putting the brake system on. So the old saying is, be careful for what you wish for. I joked and put a picture of a snowstorm on in Vegas, and we got snow on the valley floor. All right, so we're going to do the brakes. We'll get this going. When I get more, I'll turn this back on later. Hey fellas, ran into our first problem, or I ran into our first problem without even mounting anything on here. All right, according to the exploded plan review here, this is the caliper bracket, and that's the emergency cable bracket. Looking at what they sent me, here's the caliper bracket with the emergency brake cable bracket right on it. And assuming the last kit I had was rear mounted calipers, and that's what this is showing, I was wondering if they assembled this in the wrong way. So I turned around and called Willwood, and these happen to be front mount calipers. So yeah, we got one side, I got one side done. So I'm glad I got flexible. What I did different was, rather than having the drives, you know how we're on your brake lines come down to a flexible to the drive shaft, and then everything's mounted on top, not the drive shaft, but the rear end, everything on the banjo housing, everything's mounted on the banjo housing, and your piece of flex is there. Well, what I did is I put each axle as a flex and mounted everything to the bottom of the, had everything built to the bottom of the floor pan, or in this case be the back of the trunk pan, I guess. And then the flexible connection be at each wheel. And good thing I did that, because if I would have had solid, then my caliper, rather than being in the rear now, is mounted in the front, and I would have had brake lines all screwed up. So, well, we got this one done. So yeah, I called Willwood and I asked the guy, and he says, yeah, this is just an exploded view to give you an idea on how it goes together. And I says, well, it certainly doesn't help when I shows the caliper bracket on one side with the emergency brake cable bracket on the opposite side of it. And he says, no, he says this is front mount caliper. So all right, so we'll get the other side on and get that done. Again, I did new T-bolts. It's recommended you do that. And so we are all set to go, and we'll get the other side done. We'll do that, then we'll mount the brake lines, get the brake lines done from there to the frame, and then we'll start taking a look at brake lines and seeing what we're going to do with those. Remember, that's a stock kit for a 68 Camaro. So what we're going to do is I'm going to have to end up maybe bending and modifying and changing a few of those. And so I already got that planned. Probably be heading down into Henderson, probably I'd say Thursday. Because tomorrow I'll be mounting the brakes and getting everything else, and then Thursday morning I'll go down there and go to Nevada House of Hose and have some brake lines made. And hopefully pick them up Friday, be installing them, and then we'll be bleeding on Saturday. As always, when I have more, I'll turn this back on. Thanks for watching, guys. Hey fellas, we got the passenger side on and done. So now we are going to mount these back up and get these into the calipers, where these go on the frame of the car. Then this flex hose goes down to the ones in the calipers. We're going to clean these up, and we'll use the Permatex sealant on the threads. So we're routing brake lines now. So when I have more, I'll turn it back on. Later, guys. Okay, fellas, I'm batting 1,000 on brake lines. I cannot reconfigure none of these to work. So some of the steel braided brake lines that I had made, I might be using some of those again. They're still perfectly good. And see what we're going to do there. These are the ones that hook to the over the rear end, and I think I'm going to get these to fit. But I'm getting tired, and when I get tired I do stupid things, so I'm going to leave the stupid things for tomorrow and call it a day. I did left front roughly goes in like, let's see, like that, yeah. This end being, this end here to the camera being to the master cylinder, and that end down there being to the junction for the flex line. So I did get that one, but we got the rears to do, so there's always tomorrow. So I'm going to call it a night, and you guys have a good one, and we'll pick this up tomorrow. Later.